things lie and someone dies, a killer walks free with no alibi, cause the whispered hush from the crowd that rushed the court and made the case a bust. If ghosts aren't real, then the things we fear aren't under the bed, they're in our head. But the scary truth to which there is proof, it's a living, not dead, that destroyed our youth. Pick a little, talk a little, cheap, cheap, cheap. The devil's gonna preach from a tweet, tweet, tweet. And the things you've said are the things to dread, so load the gun and make the bed. So laugh, don't cry when someone dies. Look the terrible beast right in the eye. They say that dark makes way for light, so the terrible things are also right. It's the terrible, terrible, terrible things. Terrible, terrible, terrible things. Terrible, terrible, terrible things. It's terrible, terrible, terrible things.
So you've had the vocal I'll just call it hauntings. Visit.
Yeah. Communication.
The vocal communication and knocking. Have you seen anything with your eyes? I'm trying to go on like visual senses.
Yeah,
Do you feel you just sense it like Antonio?
We did once in another property here in New Mexico. We were walking after dinner. We took a walk down the street. It was a rural area. There weren't many other houses there. And he would tell me that there's a tree close to the end of the street, or actually it was a road. It wasn't even paved, I don't think. And he says, I've noticed two red eyes in it, staring. And he says, I want to see what that is, if there's a reflection or it's a, So we went walking and he said, watch out for this. And when we approached it, there was no lights or anything, and it was almost sunset. It was getting just after sunset. And we looked and there wasn't anything there. We turned around and we started heading back, and he stopped me and he said, wait a minute, turn around. And I turned around and I looked and I saw two red eyes near the tree. And they weren't there minutes before, seconds before. And that kind of creeped me out. I thought, what the heck is that? It didn't have a good feeling with it. So it had to have been something strong, or
was it off the ground or in the tree?
It was up in the tree.
Up in the tree.
Up in the tree, yes. Two red eyes looking at us. And I said, let's get going. It's going to be dark soon.
You're like, nope.
Yeah. But other than that, I've not seen any apparitions, although I do a really good slideshow about things that have been caught that look interesting. Yeah. So.
Yeah. The red eyes is often Mothman, who say has the red eyes.
Yeah.
I love owls. So my algorithm knows I like owls. So I just get owl video now.
Okay.
But a lot of them have, like, if you saw one at night, you would pee your pants, because they're quite scary looking. They can be quite big as well. I don't think their eyes would be red even if they caught the light.
No.
Yeah.
But that was something that was not a good spirit. If it was a spirit, who knows what it was? But it wasn't there before. That was the interesting thing. So
yeah, scary. So I'm going to ask you some questions that I ask all my guests.
Okay.
So what would be a spirit or ghost that you would most like to see?
Well, of course, the first thought was Antonio, but I just haven't. That's a physical sense. I feel him with me still, but probably my mom.
Oh,
probably
nice.
my mom.
Yeah. Just appears.
Lost her at a young age.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, and which ghost or spirit would you least like to see?
Those that have not been nice to me. How's that?
All my enemies.
Those that have caused me heartache and grief and pain that was not called for.
Yeah.
Who were family members or relations? Yes.
Oh, really? Yeah, because what I was just thinking about, the 80s and things, the LGBTQ plus community, and follow a lot of Instagram accounts of like the history of everything, and what a time to go through for you both. I can't imagine the different experiences and the negativity. You know, there's so many communities online now that you've got that support, but it wasn't there when I was
Yes.
growing up. You know, it was very
No,
taboo,
not at
and
all.
I mean that's why the podcast is called like All the Terrible Things, because it was like terrible to be
Yes.
queer, and it's you know,
Yes, absolutely. Well, for us, the biggest thing that we used to tell people is that we both felt like dinosaurs because all of our friends and several family members died of AIDS
yeah,
in the
yeah,
80s. And we felt like, what is it? We just were lucky. I
mm,
mean, we weren't active like that out in the
mm,
community and doing what led to that
yeah,
anyway. There was a time, for the longest time, they were gone. All of our best friends and
mm,
close relatives that had died. It was just really a sad time, but we had each other, and that's what got us through.
yeah, important.
But that's a very good point.
Yeah, I was just thinking about it, but when I was thinking of questions to ask, I was like, wow, you know, 40 years together, and like everything you've been through and everything you've seen, and the way that the
Yeah.
culture has changed. And yeah, it's so interesting, isn't it, how the young ones now can have the freedom to be who they want to be.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
so like foreign, and to me, I'm like, wow, I wonder what I would have been like if I had
Right,
that
right.
access to that information. Like I'm, you know, a woman in
Exactly.
her 40s now using TikTok and Instagram to find a lesbian community of all these
Yeah,
women that have
yeah.
come out later in life because they've had TikTok through the pandemic and been
Yes.
like, oh,
Yes.
oh,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
No,
unlocked.
it's incredible.
Yeah, it's
It's a
really,
whole different era
yeah,
for us,
yeah,
and lots of opportunities.
yeah,
And I'm really glad you're taking the opportunity to do this
yeah.
podcast because it's really cool, and
Thank
I
you.
really
Yeah,
enjoyed
I
it.
think it's very niche, and yeah, it's finding its right audience, which is nice, like
Yes.
organically. Um, so yes, right. Third question: if you were going to be haunted by an LGBTQ plus person, let's say someone famous, who would you be haunted by or want to be visited?
Famous?
Yeah, I'm going to go famous because you've done your family.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, honestly, the person that came to mind was my best friend when I first came
yeah,
out, who was an elementary school teacher, and he was very closeted, of course, at
yeah.
school back in the day. But he took me under his wing and literally just protected me and guided
Oh,
me, and I miss him. Now
yeah,
that you mention it, we're talking about the
yeah,
AIDS crisis. I haven't thought of him in a long time, so he's probably here now, just
yeah.
laughing with me that I brought him up. So,
Oh, that's
but
nice. Yeah.
I can't think of anybody really offhand that's famous that's
Any
getting that.
like pop stars or actors?
No, they all have so much drama and so much baggage.
You're not here
I've
for the
come so
drama. Yeah,
far.
you have come so far.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Why
Yeah, I've
start
come so
now?
far.
Yeah, I like that about you. You are so chilled and calm. I
But
know.
it's a good question,
Yeah.
though. Yeah, it's a good question. I'll think of it more.
So hopefully this is not too morbid, but if you probably heard it on me talk about these questions on the previous podcasts. So you've got an
Yes.
unlimited budget. How would you like to die? How would you like to go out from the world? And it can be, you know, you've got unlimited budget to pay for whatever you want.
Yes. I would. I would want to be ashes scattered
Yeah.
in some of my favorite places with a not a podcast, with a musical playing of some of my favorite
Yeah.
music while they're doing it,
Yeah.
and then the rest of the funds go to good charitable LGBTQ supported groups and organizations to continue on
Oh, Hank, you
the
got
legacy.
such a pure heart. Like, other people are like, I want to be fired into space.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
you're like,
Well,
help
it's only
people.
because that's what I'm living right now, trying to continue Antonio's legacy.
Yeah.
I have been reaching out to local Native American museums and
Mm.
communities because I want he has some beautiful. He was a talented artist. He used to do beadwork,
Oh,
traditional
lovely.
beadwork,
Yeah.
Native American, and he used to dance
Yeah.
at powwows, traditional
Yeah.
dances. So I have all of his
Wow.
garb and his costume, and I've I framed it professionally, so I want to find a place that will be able to protect it and preserve it, but also share it
Yeah.
with the public. So that's my goal. That's why. So my thinking is
Yeah.
along that
Oh, I
line.
love
So
that. Yeah, brilliant.
yeah.
We've kind of touched on this a little bit, but do you think being in the LGBTQ plus community makes us more susceptible and drawn to the macabre and the paranormal?
I was hoping you were going to ask that question,
Yeah.
and if I could take just a few minutes to read what Antonio has on the back of the Gay and Lesbian book
Oh,
about this very thing.
that blew me away. And from that little
Well,
episode.
it's something you don't, yeah, you don't think about it, but
Yeah.
here's what it says
Yes.
in that evidence that gay and lesbians, LGBTQs throughout the world, virtually all levels of human culture have often been highly respected sources of intuitive powers, wisdom, social status, and spiritual strength and guidance to their communities.
Yeah.
And that's before our time.
Yeah.
We've been around,
Yeah.
we've been here all this time,
have.
and on various levels. We've served on many levels because most have this innate sensitivity to the dual side of our lives, being attracted or not attracted to, however, and sensitivities. I think that's a really beautiful thing that gay and lesbians and
Yeah.
LGBT, the rest have.
Because I read that out when I read the stories, and I was like, wow, that's exactly answering that question. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know if you listened to the episode with Sasha Coward. That's his book,
Okay.
Queer as
Not yet.
Folklore.
Yes. Yes. No, not yet. I will.
That episode, he's very articulate about the LGBTQ plus throughout history, and I ask him a lot of questions that he answers really, really well. So you might enjoy
Great.
that episode.
I will look at it.
Okay, so are you a believer in haunted objects?
Yes.
Yeah.
I am.
Have you got any in your
Yes.
house? Would you bring
no.
any into your house?
No.
Absolutely not.
not knowingly. Not knowingly.
Yeah.
And actually when I go to estate sales or thrift stores in Garcez, and there's some really nice finds. However, I do give it a second thought of what exactly would the energy be with this particular object,
Yeah.
or what could that be? And this is where I rely on my sense of what sense do I have of this? Is there something with this or about it, or anyway. So, but no, I wouldn't knowingly do it.
Yeah, I get a vibe off things. I'm a collector of trinkets and bits and bobs.
Yes.
So yeah, I get vibes off things, but I'm very drawn in vintage stores. So I used to live in Brighton in the south coast of the UK, and there's a place called Snooper's Paradise, and it's all antiques, and you wander around, and different people have got like different cupboards, with all the glass display cases.
Yes.
And they used to have boxes of black and white photographs, but basically they would have gone to an estate sale, found photo albums, and then ripped out all the different photographs, and then are like selling them for like 10 pence, 15 pence or whatever, 40. And it used to break my heart. And I used to feel them calling out to me to bring them home and reunite them. So I have like a stash. I just moved them. They were behind me, but they're over there. I have a stash of pictures, and I collect a lot with women who are very good friends.
Okay.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They were roommates and good friends, and they lived for 50 years together. They were just good friends.
And do you ever display them or put them in a new way to preserve them?
I need to. They're all together in a folder, and I bought some photo albums, but I think one day I'll have them in nice, big frames, done nicely.
Yeah.
But I'm always drawn to them.
Okay.
But I was so every now and then I'll just sit and I'm like, what are all these people's stories?
Yeah.
But they definitely
yeah.
would speak to me and be like, take me home. I'd be like,
That's
okay.
cool. That's very cool.
End up spending.
Antonio actually had on his computer a folder of male couples.
Yeah. I think I've got some
But they
mails as
didn't
well.
know they didn't know they were male couples, but they were vintage like
Yeah.
that. They're really cool. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you just gave me a thought that maybe put them in a nice display or something.
Yeah.
A collage maybe.
Yeah, lovely. There's loads of Instagram accounts that have those images as well, which are really nice to follow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I have picked for you 3 things, and you've listened to the podcast before. You know you've got to pick one for yourself, and then you can pick one for your enemy or enemies.
Okay.
Some people are like, I have no enemies. I'm like, no one? Nobody?
Yeah.
So, do you have enemies, do you think?
Not that I'm aware of, but I'm not. I wouldn't be surprised. Although, you know who I think would be the enemies are the Christian believers that say that I'm promoting Satanism.
Oh,
by talking about spirits, which is interesting because I've had this conversation where I say, "What about the Holy Spirit?
Yeah.
You're worshiping that, him, and you know, oh, well, that's a different kind of spirit." I said, "No, it's also anyway, it's a philosophical and religious thing." But and Antonio, I watched him; he was so good at this, and say when they would challenge him, these Christian people would say, "Oh, that's the devil's work, ghosts, and it's the devil's work." But then he would hit them with the Holy Spirit. What is that?
So haunted objects. I've picked you 3, and
okay, so I know who the negative ones would get.
we know those people. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Brilliant. So, which one should I? Oh, that was scary. Okay, that's that one.
It could be the object itself.
It could be.
Trying to tell you, don't mess with me.
I know. I've just been on Etsy and found. I try and pick things to suit people, but it's so weird because these 2
what is your gut?
Yeah, exactly.
What is your gut telling you?
I know. I was trying to find oh, there she is. There she is. Oh, it's so funny how it's it's doing it. It was glitching a bit.
Is it uploading?
Yeah, it's taking its time, which always happens. Right. Does that come up for you? Yeah.
It's coming up.
Yeah, so this...
So I'll have to put my
glasses. I know, it's tiny for you. It's big on my screen, sorry.
Okay.
So this is on Etsy. This is from a shop called 76 Spirits. It says, haunted vintage jewelry, active spirit attachment, heightened psychic sensitivity, Elowen Grace Weatherby. So they've given it a name. It's a brooch. So it's a picture. It's a black and white photograph been glued with really old glue because it's kind of made the metal go a bit orange. There you can see it's like a brooch.
Yes. So the question is whether I'd keep it or pass it on?
Yeah, so I'm going to read you a little bit about it, and then we're going to see. So what are your first impressions of it?
It's a nice brooch.
It's very worn. I don't think it's as old as they think. It looks more like an 80s one. It's like my nana would have.
It might not be.
Yeah, so they always have a story with them. So it says, we invite you to discover a truly unique offering from our private collection of spirited relics, a vintage brooch imbued with the active, benevolent presence of a young soul from England's pastoral past. This is a vessel of profound spiritual resonance. Born in the spring of 1942 amidst the rolling hills of Devonshire, Elowen Grace Weatherby was a girl unlike any other. Her family and modest stewards of the countryside often spoke in hushed you of her uncanny intuition and the curious way animals and even the wind seemed to respond to her thoughts. Tragically, Elowen's mortal journey was cut short at the tender age of 16 when she wandered too far into the misted moors one autumn evening. Her body was found later, untouched and peaceful beneath a hawthorn tree. This vintage brooch has since become a bridge between the realms. From the moment it became into our possession during a Devon estate sale, our team has been astounded by the intensity of the spiritual activity around it. Elowen Grace. I don't know where they get. Sometimes they get the stories from doing like psychic sessions with them, but they don't really explain how they've got the information. The way it's written sometimes is like it's just chat GPT. Just don't use AI.
Yeah. You never know.
You never know. So what vibe?
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
When you started, it said this is a haunted vintage jewelry, but in the description it says that she was found like preserved. Like immediately, I thought something saintly.
Oh.
So that's kind of a dichotomy of the two. That you're talking it's haunted in a negative, but if she was found preserved somehow, that's another interesting point of view. Yeah, which makes me think I would keep it. I would because it sounds positive. It doesn't sound negative.
Yeah, the brooch was a gift apparently from her late grandmother, who told it to keep one safe between the worlds. I'm not getting a sense that this is true because the time. I mean, she was born in 1942. Her grandmother would have been born, like, say, it could have been 1900.
That's your analytical education coming through there.
Is this a 1900s brooch? I mean, it could be from 1930. That's apparently her spirit.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I don't know what those pictures are. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we have a lot of antique stores around.
I bet.
My mum keeps like my hair from being a toddler, like my first haircut is in a box. She gave me it. She's like, do you want your hair? So she keeps like hair and teeth, and then she found a brooch which had some Victorian hair in it. And I was like, I don't know. So she's quite drawn to things like that. So yeah.
Okay.
So you're not feeling bad vibes from it. It's kind of good vibes.
No, I'm feeling good vibes. Yeah.
Okay, we'll soon change that with this next one.
Give me what you got. What's the worst you got?
Too bad. Which ones? Oh yeah, I'll do this one. This one gives me the creeps.
Oh yeah.
This is Haunted Fortune Teller's Puppet. Marcus from the Vietnam War. The titles they give are not very good. They're just like keywords. Mr. Parchlin's puppet. It was a ventriloquist puppet. It looks quite old-ish, probably like 1950s, 60s maybe.
Yeah.
What's interesting about this is that they have done some sessions with it. That's it sat in a chair, which is terrifying.
Yeah.
And it's responding. So I don't know whether we can hear it, but it's speaking through the spirit box. How do you feel about gadgets as well, like spirit box and things like that?
I don't know a lot about them personally. We've never used anything like that. Yeah. I think they're interesting. A lot of times, what you get on television shows, it's very hard to make out, and it doesn't sound like what they're saying it is. And so I don't know. I've never been in a session like that.
Oh, I like that you haven't done that, because I think they've got spirit boxes with a word bank in, and then they'll say random words. And when I talked
Yeah,
to
yeah,
Haley, she has a blog called Haley is a Ghost, but she's a skeptic. She was saying about even those old silver like voice recorders, they're known for crackling. So if
yeah.
and then people interpret the crackle as like a voice, or you kind of project, don't you, what you want to hear onto something. Especially if you're
Yes,
primed, if it's a hospital, then you're probably going to hear things to do with hospitals, like being sick or ill,
of course, of course. Yeah,
So yeah, and then this the sound bank spirit boxes that just spit words out. I'm like, how would the spirits use that? Because they're not from that time. It's like giving them a
right.
MacBook and saying, "Write us a
Yeah,
message."
exactly. Very, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good observation for sure. No,
So
I
yeah,
agree.
it makes me very, very skeptical about those kind of things. So I like that the stories out of the book, Antonio's
Yeah.
books, nobody's doing that. They're all like first hand
No, they're unlike anything you've read in a
read.
while. So
Yep. So you can see in this picture they've used the word bank, and it says
yeah,
describe soldier. So you can build your whole story around like a couple of words.
of course, of course.
And then they've done some photography, which is quite interesting. It looks like they've used a laser
Hmm.
light and a smoke machine.
Yes.
Um, so yeah, they seem to have got different. They're believing that they're seeing things within it. So let's have a quick read about this fella. I think being ventriloquist dummies are, if you're going to imprint energy into them, these are the things that, if you've held them and
Yeah,
interacted with them and put your energy into them, I wouldn't have one in the house at all.
yeah, yeah.
It says, we have vintage from the 1970s. We have videos discussing evidence with this guy, with more to come. The latest experience yielded the apparition photos in the listing. You can clearly see a man holding an infant in one of the images. Mhm. A marching soldier in another, alongside faces emancipated from Vietnamese men. I can only show you so many here on Etsy. I want to film a video discussing our findings soon. Lots of evidence from this one. Check out what is posted. So they've put some videos on YouTube. So it's a private seller. They're saying it's a Vietnamese soldier. His father's puppet gave him the creeps growing up. I mean, why wouldn't it? Whoever decided to make a puppet look like that had to be unhinged, he thought to himself, while trying to find a place to store the old puppet after his father's death, dating back to 70s ventriloquism. Easy for me to say, was a strange hobby his father picked up after the war.
Vietnamese.
Yeah, it says a Canadian Vietnam vet who
Vietnamese.
yeah,
Oh.
it's not very articulate to read. So he's a vet and never recovered from the horrors he experienced. Oh, so he's Canadian, fought in the Vietnam War,
Okay.
and this was his
Okay.
puppet. Even naming the puppet in his little axe after a friend who died during the war. Okay. So they saying that his father now haunts it. It's a very long story. It goes on and on and on and on. But let's get to it. First impressions. Would you have this in your house?
First impression, I would not have it in my house. It's creepy looking, and I definitely would take it to one of the how would I say this? One of the extreme Christian churches and leave it in the pew before services.
With a little sign saying, your problem now.
Take me home.
Yeah.
Or take me home. Let's see who sits.
It's
Yeah.
£537 and 72 pence as
Oh,
well. It's got
no,
30%
I don't think
off.
so.
It's in 3 people's baskets.
Oh, jeez, no. Good for them. I hope they
Good
get
for
it.
them. I never said how much. Oh, the vintage brooch was 65, 63,
Yeah.
and that's from the UK. So yeah, it's very expensive. Yeah.
Well, that's the whole point of doing it.
Yeah.
Some people will pay it, and some people will offer it. Always be offering things like that.
So let me
Buyer beware, I say.
Buyer beware. Hank says, buyer beware. And I believe him. Right, let me share this final one. So I've gone for a classic All the Terrible Things pick, which is a haunted doll. It's already in one person's basket. It's $69.99, again from the UK. And this is a hot.
But look what's behind it. That's a dead giveaway there. No, no, no.
Okay, we have looks like a porcelain. Is it porcelain? Is it like a
Might
tin?
be.
It's like a strange. I don't think it's rubber. It might be like that kind of metal head of a
Or
doll.
plaster. Could be
Plaster. Yeah.
plaster.
Yeah. She's got very piercing eyes and a little red lipstick mouth. A tiny little knitted dress on. I'm not getting bad vibes from her, but she is in front of a
No.
Ouija board, which we're not. Yeah, we're
Yes.
not keen on that.
And she could take on the energy.
She could. She's got big blue eyes. It's kind of sweet. My doll that I have is called Amy, and she has one eye, and I got her in Edinburgh. She was on one of the little tabletop sales one Sunday.
Was she an antique? Was she an
She's
antique?
from I think she's probably from like 50s or 60s. She was right up on the top. She got one eye, and she had a £2 sticker on her forehead, but she had such good energy. So I bought her, and then I washed her clothes and everything. And I put her in my show because I was doing characters at the time, and my comedy was like dark comedy characters, are very horror genre. I'd always do little shows that would always have that. So I'd use her in the show because I had a character who was a children's author who hated children and wrote murder mysteries for children.
Oh my gosh!
So
she served a good purpose.
Yeah, and people were so scared of her as well. I could get a reaction from the audience. So I've got Amy. Yeah, she has nice vibes. She's been in 2 or 3 of my shows, and then I have a puppet I have like a dog puppet up there, and the energy's a bit off. I have to have him up there behind me because those eyes stare into the soul.
Yes.
But this doll doesn't feel too. She doesn't give me bad vibes.
No.
I think she's called Marley. Mallie. Marley is a 10 inches tall old plastic doll whose eyes blink, but they're very stiff. She can sit or stand, but prefers to sit. She comes with a crystal as well. That's nice. They're thrown in a crystal. Marley is the sweet, positive spirit of a 3-year-old, and her birthday is the 4th of April, 1949. Marley is such a lovely little girl. She is great to have around, as she makes me smile when I am with her. Yeah, I get that energy. She lived in the UK, we think in Wales, with her mum, dad, and older brother Kevin. Marley loved to make things for her mum, especially colourings. She tells me that she had a pet dog who she loved and play with and cuddle. She likes teddy bears, tells me she has a favourite one that she would take everywhere. She sadly passed away from the flu. She tells me she was really poorly and passed away in bed with her family by her side. Aww. Marley likes to be around her keeper and other positive spirits, especially children around her age. I've heard footsteps before. She also likes to move her vessels slightly, especially the arms. Oh, I'm not sure about that. She's been checked by a medium who specializes in demons to ensure there is nothing nasty attached to her. That's good to know, isn't it? She came to me as an unknown spirit from a friend who'd recently got her but knew nothing about her, and due to personal circumstances she's having to downsize. I've had Marley for about 6 months and I feel there is still so much to learn about her, but she's now ready and happy to find her new home. That's kind of sweet, isn't it?
Well, it's all positive.
It's all positive stuff. I'm just looking at her fingers. Oh yeah, quite plasticky. Impressions of Marley.
Sounds like other than the Ouija board in the back of
Yeah,
her.
we
It
don't
sounds
want
like
to.
it's
Yeah.
a good energy with it. Yeah.
Right. Decision time. What are you going to pick for yourself? And what are we sending to the Christian haters?
Christian haters get the
Ventriloquist.
not the doll, the
Ventriloquist
yeah,
dummy.
the
Yeah.
what do you call it? The dummy,
Ventriloquist. Yeah.
yes. Ventriloquist. And then I would keep the brooch because that sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds positive.
Lovely. Well, we'll get
Good energy.
good,
That's what you want. That's all we want to do is surround ourselves with good positive energy
good positive energy
in this life and hopefully in the next.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to ask you that earlier as well. Do you believe, because there's another program called Ghosting My Child. There's some episodes on YouTube and it's about children who they believe to be
Past lives?
Yeah, past lives.
Those are cool. I like
Yeah.
those.
What do you reckon? Because I'm
Yeah.
like, how can they be so specific? You know, it's like a little boy who's writing in Russian and he's been a Russian sniper.
Yes. Yeah, no, those are really. I like those a
I like
lot.
those.
Because there's no explanation.
No.
I have to say I don't know how they do that, but I have a belief that there's a dimension that we are not in touch with in this plane here, and I think that's it somehow comes through to children.
Yeah.
More than it does adults.
Yeah. Because we had a friend, my mum had someone she worked with, and her daughter used to say, I used to do that when I was the man. And they'd be like, when you were the man? And she said, yeah, I was a man. And then I fell off the ladder and then I came to you.
Wow. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. No explanation, but.
Yeah. Strange.
Yeah.
I feel like I could talk to you all day, but you're a busy man, so I'm gonna let you go. But
well, I hope we do it again
I know.
anytime. I really, let's continue it because I've seen you have several repeats, so that's I'm thinking, well, maybe this will be the first of several. So I'm open to it.
Yeah, maybe we could do a session more on the lesbian and gay ghost stories, something like that.
Yeah,
but yeah, I'd love to have you back. Have you had a nice time?
I've had a great time. I appreciate you and what you're doing, and it's been wonderful. I'm looking forward to continuing our communications.
Absolutely, and thank you for being so generous with your time and being so open and vulnerable and sharing. It's very appreciated.
My pleasure.
And I will speak to you soon.